We received a super chat during the night. T sent $10. Thank you so much. He says, how careful are you with your crypto seed phrase? Many copies? Are they encrypted so that were someone to find it, they wouldn't gain access? I want to know to what level JF goes to protect his seeds. Very interesting phrasing there. Papa JF has great care for his seeds. Listen, if you go punching your seed words for your Bitcoin wallet into a metal plate, which is what I recommend, you are faced with a branch of decision here. If you put the words as such, then anyone finds it, they can take your Bitcoin. On the other hand, if you encrypt too hard, it's going to be hard to communicate to a normie from your family how to recover the Bitcoin seed words. And so you have this trade-off here. Personally, I've decided to encrypt my cards so that if someone random out there finds my Bitcoin cards, they will not be able to access my wallet. So a Bitcoin wallet is protected by either 12 or 24 words. Um, and how do you write these 10 or 24 words on metal without it being readable by anyone else? Well, you can go to this page called Classical Ciphers on Wikipedia and choose a convenient cipher that that is a little harder than the Caesar cipher. So Caesar cipher is very popular. The problem with it is it's a stable shift. See, from P is being changed to B, F is being changed to C. The problem is I can easily pass your 24 words into an algorithm that will try all possible shifts. That's why I think that ASCII shifts and shift ciphers in general are not sufficient, because it's the first thing that a specialist of decryption will think about and will check for. So what I would say is I have one of these ciphers in this page that is one of my favorite ciphers. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, because ultimately the more people use the more different ciphers, that increases entropy and that protects us all. So I'm not going to tell you which cipher I use, but find a cipher that is more complex than the Caesar cipher and that is not merely a shift cipher. So Polybius square is an example of a cipher that you can use that is ancient. You choose a random number, let's say 4. Now you align the letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and you just put 4. And then you switch to the next line, E, F, G, H. So based on the number you chose, it will cut the alphabet in different sections. Here in this case, what they illustrate is the alphabet divided in 5 lines. But you can choose something else, and you can reorganize the letters of the alphabet in any way you like. But ultimately, what's important is you have a system that you can retain in your head that links the letter A to some other letters. And so when you have an A in your word, you write it as a M. When you have an O in your word, you write it maybe as a H. So you have to have a substitution. I think that substitution ciphers that are not simply shift ciphers, but that are more complex than this, some of them use a password. Those are good. Those are good, and you want to choose the password that you will retain it in your mind and that you will not need to write it down anywhere. And that it's not easy to guess. And you want to share that password where you can be headed toward the cipher encryption of your Bitcoin keys is when you can trust someone in your family, the person that you trust, to know the place of your metal plates and what to do in case you die. That is why you need a second person. That is why you need a second person to guard Bitcoin keys. It's if you die, they need to be able to recover it. John Drake says multi-sig with metal plates is another option if you aren't comfortable with codes. Yes, multi-sig, perhaps. But at the same time, multi-sig, there's always a trade-off also. It's like, are you going to give power to 2 out of the 3 keys? Well, that's 2 people. And perhaps that's either you gather these 2 inside one home, and then it's if the police gets it, it's theirs. Or you separate them, but then you don't have access to your Bitcoin unless the other person is there to back you up with their copy of the key. So multi-sig has not been a solution for me generally. Extreme encryption levels is my way of dealing with this problem. So any of the ciphers that are complex enough, that use passwords, that are specialized, that are customizable to your own need, will do. The Polybius square is one, but don't use a Polybius square. Make it a rectangle and play with it a little bit, shift it a little bit. That is the key to security, obscurity, security through obscurity.